Uh,
All right.
we're
First
doing
things
this
first.
because of what they've done to Britt Baker and Big Swole.
Yes.
The women's division has zero storylines outside of Britt Baker being the role model on her rollaway chair and her constant bullying of Big Swole. Um, I wanted to see the payoff of this match really badly. All the other women, all they do is vie for the title. That's all they do. I don't know who any of them are. No story, no personality. Even Hikaru Shida, I don't know anything about her. Luckily, I follow her on Instagram, so I know she likes animals a little bit. I know that Nyla Rose, LGBTQ. What else do I know about her? Nothing. They don't give those women anything to chew on. Nothing. Except for Britt Baker and Big Swole. And how did they reward those two women? Pre-show!
And they're putting production value into it, and they're still giving it away. This is a match that I would only tune in to, like I would tune in just to make sure I saw it. Now I do need to make sure that I point out Big Swole said on actually no, she said on an interview with another a wrestling media person. You know how that goes. They're not anybody. We're all wrestling media people. Nobody's really like, oh, I work for ESPN. Anyway, so she tweeted out.
How about a microphone at Guitar Center? All right, exactly. I'm the media. Go ahead.
So Big Swole said to this individual, I get that you all wanted me on the pay-per-view, but please tune into this. So it is our responsibility to make sure we tune in to only that match for the buy-in.
And then don't buy arms
and don't watch anything else. No. But here's the thing. The person that did that interview, they actually came around and made the assertion that we should just go along with Big Swole and be happy that, a year ago she wasn't on the show and now she is. I'm not putting that accomplishment yes, I would love to be on buy-in, and Big Swole's accomplishment to get there is humongous. But it's our responsibility as the fans, as the pro wrestling media, to, unfortunately, Big Swole still has to be political here. She's not going to come out and she's, she did a fantastic job saying, this is great, this is a huge accomplishment for me. Absolutely, 100% is. But as fans of Big Swole, as fans of pro wrestling, as people that recognize that there was more effort put into this, and they're saying, well, the effort doesn't matter, we're still going to put you on the buy-in. It's our responsibility to make sure that we say, this should be on the pay-per-view. We are not the bad guys here. Big Swole's not the bad guy. Big Swole's doing everything she can. She did the great job of telling the story. We know she's going to do a great job in the cinematic match, that is the tooth and nail match. And we have to watch it, but this is AEW doing the wrong choice. The wrong choice for pro wrestling, the wrong choice for women's wrestling. It's them doing that again. And again, I can't say enough that us wanting her to be on the main show is not taking away from this major accomplishment of Big Swole to get there.
I totally agree. I think it's definitely Big Swole's job to be a professional and to be diplomatic. It's our job to piss and moan and bitch about it because we can on her behalf. There's no risk on our side.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at the card and I don't know if I really need Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara instead of Big Swole versus Britt Baker.
The Young Bucks.
I mean, I get that the Young Bucks built the whole company. Jurassic Express is pretty over. I get it. I just Sammy Guevara. We know why he's kind of been on the peripheral for a while, and it's because of some extracurricular nonsense that he's been doing. So it definitely feels like that could have been a pre-show punishment for him. But instead he gets a broken rules match. Yeah.
Dark Order versus Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and the Natural Nightmares. I don't.
I just if it's a priority to get.
I'm gonna go potty.
If it's All right, if it's a priority to get the women over, I don't think that what
That's it.
they've set up is going to accomplish getting that whole division, making it feel prominent, making it feel prestigious, to borrow Matt's word there.
I made it up.
Yeah, Matt's word. What prestigious? I don't know what he's saying. But yeah, I guess we can move into the rest of the card. I mean, the buy-in is, I guess what they've accomplished is made it feel like you should watch it, because we're actually putting, one of the few matches that's not just about championship gold or moving up in these very insidious, esoteric AEW rankings that I don't quite understand. How one team could suddenly start climbing the rankings when I swear they've never won before. But we move on, because we're still excited to watch this. We're just arguing on behalf of two women that we really want to see go to war against each other. We could do the Bucks and Jurassic Express. Matt, it's the one thing about this match, it's one of those. If you're not one of the big AEW fans, I don't know why they don't come out and say this is going to be a tornado tag, because the rules of tag team wrestling are going right out the window for this one.
It is kind of, I will say, I think everybody knows I'm more critical of AEW and its fan base than you are. But all these claims of like putting tag team wrestling on a pedestal, like, are we really doing tag team wrestling, or we just throwing four guys into the ring and they fly over the ropes a bunch? Because that looks like a ladder match to me, or that looks like any, we just watched four guys in an Iron Man match where they don't have to worry about who their partner is. They can hit anybody. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, maybe let's pull back a little bit, because and it's fun. Maybe it's just its own thing. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm making this argument and I'm making me look like a more of a W.
Maybe, yeah. I kind of see where you're coming from. Like, we've decided, when guys slap each other in the chest, that is the most painful thing in the world, and you could lose a physical contest. We've all decided a suplex really, really hurts, and that punches, even if they don't leave bruises, even if they look like marshmallows, they hurt. We've all decided that's what wrestling is. Should we also decide that what the Young Bucks do is not tag team wrestling? It's four guys just doing a bunch of crazy shit. It's just its own entity. It's not a tag team match, and that's okay. Is that distinction important to you, Matt? I know it's important to FTR.
I sound like Jim Cornette right now, because I hate Jim Cornette. But are we? I'm gonna do it. Oh my god! Here we go.
Matt, you old fuddy duddy.
I can't even say.
Come on, fuddy. What do you got for us, fuddy duddy?
Watching like historically accurate tag team. Like, what is the big stink we're making about tag team wrestling being featured on AEW? But what they do is completely different from a Young Bucks perspective. So it's not the classic. So do we want tag team wrestling, or do we just want the Young Bucks to get their comeuppance, right? Do we just want them? Do they want the WWE to say, "Man, I wish one day we could have had the Young Bucks, but we just couldn't do it"? Like, is that what? I'm glad one of us has a level head, and then there's me, Jim Cornette. I don't get that shit. I'll pay to watch wrestling. Now I sound like...
I like Bray Wyatt, right? And I like his new, he's going to fight you in a swamp. He's going to fight you in a Pee-wee Funhouse. He's going to fight you in your own imagination. So those aren't technically wrestling matches. The Young Bucks, I don't think they were ever tag team wrestlers. I think they're just a couple of buddies who like doing wrestling moves at the same time. I don't think... There's two of them. I don't think that means it's necessarily a tag team match. There's no tagging involved. I think it's just a team match. It's two teams just trying to out-team each other. There's no tags required.
Yeah.
So that's what I think of that. Matt, I real quick, I'm picking. Oof. So far, I don't think we really made predictions, but I don't know. Ooh, I guess Britt Baker, and I'm picking the Young Bucks.
All right. Big Swole, Jurassic Express. Boom.
There we go. Let's split it. All right, Matt Hardy, Sammy Guevara. Let's give this as little time as possible because I don't want to keep seeing Matt Hardy wrestle. It's over. It's okay. Sammy Guevara has not quite earned my interest yet. In a broken rules match, this is going to get way more TV time than it probably should. I think Matt Hardy's going to take a 3-second tan for Sammy. I think he likes him a lot. That's about all I want to donate to this match.
Yeah, I think it's funny that we've come up with all these rules why it's okay for Sammy Guevara to just, not have to be punished for what he said. But there's so many other humans that it's not okay when they say something bad. That being said, I'm not tuning in to watch this. I'm going to watch it because I'm paying $60 for a fucking pay-per-view. What kind of world are we living in? But yeah, let's just go Matt Hardy because he's old and because you said
let's move on to a match we're excited about. I do actually I do want to see the Dark Order versus
oh my God.
Not necessarily Matt Cardona and Scorpio Sky and the Natural Nightmares, but I do want to see the Dark Order just kind of off the leash a little bit. So I think the appeal of this match is that it's not just Brody Lee, it's not just Evil Uno. They're actually letting the full plethora of these, masked. Apologies to Bray Wyatt. These masked fiends are just going to be in a massive match, and it should be like that. It should be like Kingdom Hearts, where the Heartless are just literally just flooding you, and you just got to swing your Keyblade as hard as you can and try and take out as many as you can. That's always the visual I had in mind for these guys. Maybe WWE is definitely stealing that with the what are they called? The Reprimanders or Retribution? I don't remember what they're called. But it should feel like that. It should feel like, if you don't have the right Keyblade, you could get overwhelmed. So I'm pumped to see the Dark Order try and flex a little Dark Order muscle in this match.
I think they need a win. That's all I'm going to say. Dark Order. All right, 21-man casino battle royale for the AEW championship opportunity. This is their way of saying, oh my God, it's so hard to write this story with having these rankings on a weekly basis. All right, so I can confess I don't think I've seen a list of the 21 guys, but I'm pretty sure that Murder Hawk is winning this. So I'm gonna go Murder Hawk.
I think that's a pretty solid pick. The only other one I could think of would be good Lord. I have his face. I keep wanting to call him Kip Sabian. the skateboarder guy. What's his name?
Oh my God. Well, here goes our live show, and all of our 50 people are about to.
Darby Allin. Good Lord. I don't know how I could think of that.
It's Darby All Out.
Yeah, I always want a Arby's melted cheddar every time I think of him.
Well, now that our credibility's gone, you're taking Darby all out, and I'm taking
Darby all out. Our Darby melted cheddar melt all out.
On a slice of apple pie.
Yeah. The other one that could be, because he's not really on the card, and I don't remember seeing any boo-boos come his way, is Brian Cage.
That's a good one.
And then, we haven't heard from the Bastard in a while. I don't know what he's up to. He's just, I don't know. He's Dr. Manhattan himself up onto the moon. I don't know what he's doing.
There's probably still room, too, for, Kenny Omega to get involved. I think if he, just walks away from Adam Page, which we're going to talk about that with the World Tag Team Championship match. But I'm still sticking with the Murder Hawk because yeah, Murder Hawk. Boom.
It's not a bad pick. And Darby, I think he might be there because Brian Cage and the Murder Hawk are there. You know, he'll be there as the underdog. You know, the second to last person eliminated, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think you. I think you picked a really good solid choice there. Before we get into the gold, we got Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy and
this better goddamn
Tony Schiavone.
Cassidy.
Tony Schiavone made the very important distinction and said, we're going to have a Mimosa Mayhem match, which is from the mind of Jericho. Much like the summer blockbuster Tenet is from the mind of Christopher Nolan. From the mind behind the Money in the Bank match comes Mimosa Mayhem. So Chris Jericho making sure he gets all the credit for orange juice and a little bit of the bubbly.
I mean, like, what are the chances that when he like proposed this, it was just him walking into a room? No, we're gonna call it Mimosa Mayhem. No, but Chris, what is it? It's Mimosa Mayhem. You guys are gonna
Mimosa Mayhem, man. Come on, man. I don't know. I think one of them gets
Mimosa champagne.
I think one of them's getting dunked in a big tub, right? I think that's the gimmick.
I actually didn't know till right now, but that makes sense. So, okay.
And hot tag, is Orange Cassidy going to be more or less over after a Mimosa Mayhem match?
Jesus.
Because he has to win. I don't think you can afford to have Orange Cassidy drowning in the bubbly.
I just don't want it to be the thing where 10 years from now he's like, why did I do that string of matches with Jericho? I
honestly don't see Cassidy losing. I think that Jericho wants that Mimosa Mayhem. I think he wants to be the one in his highlight reel swimming around in bubbly orange juice.
I think he wants that moment where he's swimming around in it and he can say bubbly and try and sell a few more bottles of his bubbly champagne. I like, from a marketing perspective, I think he just wants more opportunities to get like to screen capture some videos from AEW to put that all together. I know I'm being super mean right now, but that I kind of feel like that's where this is going, and we're gonna see a bunch of bottles up on the stage.
Well, I think the best case scenario is not Jericho gloating over Orange Cassidy drowning.
Right.
The best case scenario is Cassidy winning and Jericho.
This is it. You said yes.
Like my dude from Beer Fest when he was drowning in the beer, so he tried to drink his way out.
You know what? For movies, one of the worst bookings ever, because what was this? Trash Load? Garbage Pile. The character from Beer Fest. What the hell is his name?
Landfill.
Landfill. That's right. Yeah. Landfill drinking that beer, but him dying anyway. Worst booking in movie history. He was the best character in the movie. He had just come off those great scenes where he was playing with a puppet, and then drowns in beer. Like, his character was that he could drink any amount, so he should have lived.
Yeah. That's a whole other podcast. Matt, we're going to move on to the gold here. We're almost out of here. We got AEW Women's World Championship, Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa.
Whoa!
I feel like some of the airs...
Months at a time. Oh, I'm sorry. Thunder Rosa just showed up.
Roughly 11 days of build. That's what you want.
Look, she's deserving of a job. But can we get some story? Right? Like, there's... If they're trying to sell to us just this idea that, oh, it's going to be so amazing when she wins, because I'm picking Thunder Rosa to win this because she's already signed. Like, let's not play this game. Like, she's in. She's good. She's boom. Right? Like, that's what they're doing. I could go for some more story than just this shock that the person who doesn't have a contract is going to win the match. Otherwise, alright, let's say that doesn't happen. Then somebody who's just not under contract with the AEW is going to lose the women's championship match. Cool. Fun. Here's my $60. Snore. So, basically, if Thunder Rosa does not win this, fuck this match.
Listen, I'm not asking for like a 7-book epic where a boy with a lightning scar finally meets his equal in Voldemort. But can I get the 200-page Catcher in the Rye? Can I get that?
Right.
You know, can I get Clifford sees a police car? You know, can I get that? That was 8 pages. So once again, with the
X-Men: The Last Stand, or I'm sorry, damn it, I fucked it up. God damn it. X2, X-Men United, but we'll take X-Men: The Last Stand.
That was beautiful, man.
I just got my new Nightcrawler Funko Pop. So I looked over and I saw it because my whole desk almost came down like it did a couple months ago. Go to our YouTube channel, check it out. And then I thought, oh, there he is. Nightcrawler from X2. Stunned silence.
I'm excited for you to have that because I know you've been emailing and tweeting at the Funko people for quite a while.
Pops up on my time hop. Like, I have done it 8 times.
I just one quick note for Thunder Rosa, especially days after watching Andrade come out and the way WWE will anybody non-white, you are your skin color or nationality. That's your character. And it was such a nice, warm change of pace to see on AEW Thunder Rosa. She admittedly did have like that Day of the Dead face paint going. But she came out to this awesome death metal song. And it really kind of like, had me sitting up in my chair a little bit to see who this person was. And then she's kicking ass in the ring. So, case in point, Hikaru kind of comes out to like a traditional, like Asian sounding ballad. So it's kind of nice that Thunder gets to kind of be her own person there. It's a nice change of pace. So I would like to see her win. I would like to see her stick around. I would like to see her really inject some new energy into this women's division. And by God, please let her talk. I don't care. Just give her a few minutes. Let me learn who she is. I'm already intrigued. I want a little more. Give me a little, Clifford goes to the ice cream stand. It's like a 6-page book, but give me that. That's all I want.
I'll just say it wasn't an accident that.
Give me a single panel Ziggy. How about that?
I was gonna say it's not an accident that like Statlander became everybody's favorite, and it's because she was the only person that they gave like.
She had a modicum of character development.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was no accident. Come on, like, let's do it for one.
Let's do it. Come on, Cody. Come on. All right, man. We're down to 2 matches. Jesus. Kenny Omega and Hangman.
Can I do first? Or no, you go first, and then I'll do my booking because mine's quite the fantasy booking.
Oh boy, against I always want to say fart, but it's FTR. I don't need to see singles guys being the tag champs anymore. I think FTR alluded to that. I think they alluded to that being the end of this reign. The only thing that, I know what's going to come, and I kind of want to fast forward through it because I want to see Omega versus Jon Moxley. But I think this is when we see, the chinks in the armor. We see the dissension in the group, and I think that we maybe see Omega versus Adam Page coming up.
Okay, so yeah, I'm
kind
of in that same realm. But
kind of stolen my thunder realm. Thanks. Well, here we go.
So everything that I've been seeing like online has been saying this is the start of like AEW's Four Horsemen.
Mm.
So we're talking Adam Page, FTR, and then oh shoot, and then we're throwing in the Perfect 10.
Shawn Spears?
Yeah, Shawn Spears into that, and it's mostly because of Tully being around. So he's gonna put all these guys together. So that's what I've been seeing, and I don't hate it. I like. I know we're talking about like another faction being built. So now we've got like 15 factions in AEW, but I think this would get a lot of good attention. And is it more like callbacks just to get people to watch? Yes, but I kind of like the idea of like a new version of the Four Horsemen, only because I already brought up the X-Men, and it's what the X-Men do all the time, is give us new iterations of the Four Horsemen. I think it's something that is defined biblically and defined through comic books. It's a good story. It's something to keep like through the generations, like bring up new ones. Like it's this definition of not necessarily like the four best guys of all time, but you have an idea of what this represents, and I think if they're allowed to do it, if they're able, I think they should, even if they're not allowed to be called the Four Horsemen. But I mean, you've got a guy doing cowboy shit. I mean, it just makes sense. Just do it. Sign me up.
Yeah, I'm not against that. One of my favorite movies of all time is The Warriors. So if AEW is just going to be a bunch of gang warfare, I'm all for it. I like the team aspect. I like the way they have the Elite, the Dark Order. They're going to have this FTR group, Jericho's guys. The more the merrier. I'm not against that idea at all. I could be on top of that. The American Nightmare group, all those guys. I kind of like it. Drawn a line in the sand, and it's going to be like the climactic battle in Anchorman. Where the public news team is coming out. That's going to be the best friends in Orange Cassidy. But I like it. I'm a fan. It makes me want to see, some sort of big Survivor Series style, matches. So I think there's a lot of positive in that booking. The last match, I don't really know what there is to dissect. It's the AEW Championship match. It's Moxley and MJF. It's a mainstay. It's an established top tier superstar versus the young kid who's probably going to be the face of the company in the next couple of years. I gotta say I don't see MJF winning. I think that they want Moxley to kind of continue running the gamut a little bit, going through the gauntlet of the Omegas, the Hangmans, maybe even the Murder Hawks, the people like that. This match I would be pretty stunned, and I love MJF. I would be pretty stunned to see MJF come out on top.
Okay, I thought it was like for sure MJF. So you're
wow.
me out. I really thought
wow.
they really held back on MJF at the start, and I thought that they knew what they had. Like, this guy could really take over the company. So I just figured the first title opportunity he got, he was going to win. Like, no matter what the storyline was. The thing is, it's so weird. I feel like I get to see over and over on social media everything that MJF does. I see over and over everything that Adam Page does, and the battles with Kenny Omega and FTR. Especially Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy. Mike, I see zero things on social media that Jon Moxley does. I don't know if that works for the company. I mean, from the perspective of like, let's put your champion in the spotlight. Let's have him represent the company. I don't see a lot after the show of people getting too excited about what Moxley does week after week. And everybody loves pretty much up and down the card whatever else anybody's doing. Especially when Jake the Snake's talking about, busting a nut in the ring. I don't know if you saw that. All of that gets so much more coverage on social media than anything Jon Moxley does. And I honestly couldn't be more ready to say goodbye to this championship run. I don't need it. I'm good. I think if anything, Mike, for Jon Moxley, I think it's proved how badly I want MJF to hold the title. I think guys like Orange Cassidy, I think would now I'm just feel like I'm starving for somebody like that to hold the title. And it's also proved for me that even given all the creative freedom in the world, John's not doing it for me.
Well,
give me ketchup and mustard bottles, man. This No, I'm kidding. That was shit too. But honestly, I'm at that point. I can't keep watching this guy hold the title. I'm good. I'm done. I'm tapped.
It just feels like MJF already has a title as maybe the best talker in AEW. So if they're going to spread the wealth,
Moxley's nothing without the title. This just in from the Brothers.
Woo! Breaking news.
Clink, at Michael_Clink says Jon Moxley's nothing without the AEW title.
That's not true. He's got Renee.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I think Moxley he could use the gold still. I think that he's still the face of this company because he transcends outside of AEW. You know the guy. I don't think they're pulling the plug on his reign. Not yet. I think it's going to be somebody a little bit older. I think it's going to be Omega, Hangman, somebody like that. I don't think it's going to be MJF. Not at this juncture.
All right. Well, recap. Oh, you know what? I haven't really said out loud what my winners were. Oh no, I did. Thunder Rosa, FTR, MJF. I'm going Murder Hawk in the 21-man Casino Battle Royale. Orange Cassidy over Chris Jericho. We both picked the Dark Order. And you... Oh, shoot, I did this wrong. Now I've got to go backwards. All right, I'll let you say who you're picking. Then I picked Matt Hardy, Jurassic Express, and Big Swole.
Yeah, it's going to be Moxley. It's going to be FTR. It's going to be Thunder Rosa because they don't know what they're doing in that division. She'll probably win and then leave the company. Orange Cassidy, Jericho drinking a whole lot of bubbly. Darby Cheddar Melt Allen is going to win the Battle Royale. Give me Dark Order. Give me Sammy Guevara. Give me the Bucks. And oh God, this is the hardest one to pick. Is Britt Baker versus Big Swole.
Do it.
I literally just did.
I know you already picked Britt Baker.
I did. I just did a rant about why the best talker doesn't need to also have gold. This isn't for gold. This is just about bragging rights. I guess Britt Baker wins. They're going to further establish her as a 4 or 5 dimensional character. So give me Baker.
Well, we didn't get the amount of questions I was hoping for. So if you're listening on the podcast or watching us later on YouTube, we are going to try and go live on Thursdays, except this upcoming Thursday, Matt's going on vacation, so Mike and I got to work that out. And I was told I'm not allowed to bring my laptop. So we're going to figure something out for next week. But the following week, we are going to be Thursdays at 8:30 is going to be our normal time. Unless we can hear from everybody else. If you guys are like, fuck Thursdays. Go live. You can beat Impact Wrestling. Do it. Go live on Tuesdays. Just let us know. And we'll get it worked out. All right, everybody. Woo! Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. And if you're not watching us live, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Or I'm sorry, if you're not watching us live, find us live again Thursdays at 8:30 on YouTube and Facebook. And then you can always catch up on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and then it'll stick around on YouTube after that. So check out Brothers of Discussion on all of those different services. Anywhere you can find podcasts, you can find the Brothers of Discussion on Twitter at BOD Podcast, on Instagram at brothers_of_discussion. And then the huge conversation, if you guys are hockey fans, check out on BOD Hockey and the now named Red Wings Rant podcast. We have the super famous Odd Man Rush from the UK talking hockey with us, talking about Red Wings prospects. So that was a super huge get. We're super excited about it. It was a fantastic conversation. It's supposed to go 20 minutes. We went an hour and a half. So a lot of good shit going there if you're a hockey fan. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.
Bye.